the real single version of the truth as I'm typing away. So we're still editing, despite the fact we've got 3 different clients, full fat, etc., web version and Teams. We're all editing exactly the same version. So it really partly comes down to personal preference of what you feel most comfortable, which tool you feel most comfortable using, doesn't it, Rupert? I would say.
Yeah, I think the other thing, little feature which Microsoft have recently introduced is that often, people, when they create a document, they don't think about the name properly, and actually now you can edit the name of a file at any point, even if people put it open in different environments. So we changed that, and now that will reflect for everybody. So one of my pet hates was people not following document naming standards. I can solve that even if they're editing the document themselves.
Fantastic. So let's have a think about this. So we've gone through, we've generated the templated document with the right values. It's got the expenses information. We've used the power of Teams to actually start collaborating on this document and get additional input. And we've managed to sort of significantly save the time it takes to do that. Now, having said that, though, typically, Rupert, off the end of a proposal like this, we probably want to send this through some form of sort of at least sign-off process, don't we? So that the right person has had that sort of final review and can say if they've approved it or not. So shall we sort of just quickly demonstrate that? And what we're going to do now, Rupert's opening up the files area, but we're going to just fire up the Sharepoint itself, which is where these files are being stored, to demonstrate some richer additional functionality around this. So. Yeah.
You make a good point, Ben, that what Teams is doing here is giving you a cut down version of SharePoint, so removing maybe what some people see some of the clutter. We might say the richer features, but we can break out into SharePoint. We're accessing the same files, the same information, but we've got a lot more options of how we can manage our documents from here.
Yeah, exactly. So what we're going to do now is just kick off a sign-off process. So Rupert, do you want to just click on the ellipses, click on automate? And we're just going to start a sign-off process, a request sign-off. We reckon Nesta is probably, our colleague Nesta is probably the person to go and do that final authorization. Now, in reality, you wouldn't normally, in a proper business process, you wouldn't normally want to go and pick the person to approve. This would be baked into your business rules based on things like, if it's above a certain amount or based on your manager. But for the purpose of this demo, we've just started that sign-off process. And now, Rupert, do you want to jump over to your sort of Nesta's email so we can demonstrate what comes through for him?
Oh, yeah, and it's by magic, it's come through.
That's actually come through really quickly, which is fantastic. So what we can see here, there's a link to the document itself embedded in the email. But the thing that's really interesting about this is that the options to approve or reject this are actually embedded straight into the email itself. You don't have to take someone out of what they're doing, which is either email or Teams. You don't have to take them away from what they're doing. They can go and review the document and then just come back and quickly approve it. They don't have to go and sign into some separate system to do it. It's all handled for them. What we're looking at here is this concept is called an active card. It's where the email has actually got functionality in it that will change based on what you do. So if you go and click on the approve button, please, Rupert, and let's just go and fill in some details. It's worth highlighting, this isn't just visible in the web client. You don't have to use the web client to do this. This will work in the full Outlook client, provided you've got the Office 365 version deployed. And it also works in the Outlook app on your mobile phone, which is really powerful. So it's, it's full-blown functionality for everyone to use. And we can see that as Rupert has done that, if he goes back to that email, it's been updated, so he's not going to be accidentally, redoing the same email or figuring out which one he's done. He's gone into this. He can see that he's already approved this, or Nesta, in fact, has already approved this.